Circle, circle, circle. There it is. Howdy do, everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully everyone's fine. Everyone's great would be even better. The weather was nice here today. I mean, it was cloudy, but it didn't snow. So there's that. Meanwhile, elsewhere, it might snow, and it was 80 degrees yesterday. So,
sorry, I had my YouTube on. Gave us an echo.
I can't. Like, I'm kind of over Mother Nature a little bit, but she has calmed down a little bit here. It was supposed to snow 2 days ago. And I was walking, then it started to rain, and then I noticed the rain was sticking to my jacket because it was no longer water. It was kind of icy. And so I'm like, okay, calm down with the snow here, but it wasn't that cold.
We're supposed to get snow tomorrow morning after being close to 80 all week last week.
Which the good thing would be it probably won't stick then, at least, because the ground might be still warm.
My magnolia trees are in full bloom. I'm like, yeah, here we go. Bring cold and frost and all that stuff and kill my pretty blossoms.
That's what's been happening here. We did a walking stream the other day, and we walked past some really nice plants and flowers, but the flowers are just, they ain't having it. They'll bloom and then fall right off because very bipolar here. But
and meanwhile, I'm over here planting tomatoes and strawberries and peppers, and I threw my seeds in yesterday, and I was like, time to start growing stuff. We'll see.
I'm doing a Trump YMCA with He's not impressed. Trying to teach you how to dance.
Interesting. The one cat that'll let you do that, though. The other ones, they squirm like you're trying to pull their fur off or something. But, you know, all in all has been good. All has been well. Very, very busy couple weeks, though, and all that. So that's good. Always nice to have something to do, I guess, instead of the other thing. So any announcements from anyone? No.
Just a big thank you to everybody for joining me on my birthday last week. That was fun. Did some great readings.
Oh, also, there you go to Red Lentil Healing YouTube page, and she has some updates on Jody Roberts. Jody Roberts had surgery on her back. And so if you would like to donate to help her, because she is self-employed, so you know how that is. So if you would like to donate to help her, go to Jody Roberts' YouTube channel, and all her information is there. And it is in the post on my channel. It's on the post in Jen's channel. It's on the post in Adrian's channel as well, where you can click the PayPal, just send it to her PayPal, and donate to her there too. She was out of surgery and doing better. Of course, there's still different kinds of biopsies and all the other kind of opsies you have to do and all that type of stuff. So they're trying to see if they did a cancer test, I believe. So they're still doing a bunch of tests and all those type of things. So just keep her lifted in your prayers if you can, if you will, please, and thank you. Tarot class, June 2nd. Look at the calendar, don't guess. June 2nd through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, July 7th. So if you want a spot in the next tarot class, just email me, and then I'll write your information down, your name and your email address. Don't pay for anything yet because it hasn't happened. So we want to make sure we got the date solid before you pay for anything. So June 2nd will be the next tarot class. We will teach out of the Rider-Waite. You don't have to have that one, but we will teach out of that one. So there is that. If you want a reading, jenlintarot.com.
And I've got mid-May, I've got a whole week blocked out because I'm going to Sedona. So if you want a reading, you have to, before then, you got to get in there fast. There's a few openings 1st of May.
Or go to Sedona and beg.
Or for later in May and June.
And if you want a tableau or a Lenormand reading, you go to what you got 2 email addresses. Well, at least when I email you, there's 2 different ones. Which one should they use?
House of Lenormand Reading. The House of LenormandReadings.com is the one for readings, for personal readings.
So if
I
you
just
want
did one Saturday, and then I did a grand tableau Saturday for a client. If she's watching, hello. Oh, there's Lena. I see Auntie Lena.
Said she's cracking. We'll see you in a couple weeks or whenever. Not in a couple weeks, a couple days.
So I did that, and then I went out and started gardening. And then by the time I was done gardening, I did not have it in me to do another grand tableau because I was full of dirt and sweaty and just gross. And I'm like, I just want to shower and lay down and read a book. So I'll probably go live this week with another one if you would like to join me, Johnny. I don't know what your schedule is like in the evenings, even though we're on the same time frame, time zone. I'll text you to see if you want to join me.
I do recommend also, if you have not gotten a tableau done, that they are quite extensive and very informational. So if you want one done, House of Lenormand Readings at gmail.com. Book you one. And of course, I get many of readings from JenLynTarot.com. So I recommend them both. As well as shout out to thewayofpositivechange.com too. So I recommend all 3 of them because I've got readings from them before. So speaking of readings, y'all want to start?
Sure. We if you missed it, go check out my birthday live stream. We did a lot of great readings Thursday night on my birthday live stream, all political.
So you were telling me some astrology person said that Donald Trump's August is not going to be very nice.
Andre from Astrology Alert. I know a lot of our viewers watch him too. He's awesome. He was saying that August is god awful for Trump, god awful, and from there for like the next 2 years.
What did I say?
I don't remember the details, but
come on with it. Fill us in.
Becca said their grand tableau August.
So I said I was having a difficult time up here because of the 3 opening cards, but the sun is sitting in its own house. And I was like, sometime around the summer when it gets hot, because the sun is sitting in its own house. That's part I broke this one up into 2 videos. And from them, we've even found more. Johnny and Jenny and I, last Sunday night, we were discussing it. And I said, you guys, it says how many indictments he's going to get. You cannot make this up. Because down this 3rd column, the indictments fall on the first one. But on the 3rd column, you have the lilies, the fox, the letter, the fish, and the clouds. So we're talking about really old stuff, manipulation of business records that bring a lot of trouble. The number for the letter is number 27. The letter sits in the house of Tower, which is legal paperwork, corporate paperwork, officialized paperwork. That paperwork is around business with the fish. The fish is sitting in the house of letter. So if you read this, 27 is the house of letter. And I gave them a pop quiz. I was like, you guys, guess the number for fish. And they're like, oh, it's 34. So there's 34 indictments right down this column. Right there, clear as day. There's the official paperwork for business that's been fraudulent. There's 34. The fish that brings huge trouble.
His first
so it's like little things like that. Huh?
It's his first 34.
It was 34. 34 indictments for fraudulent.
Yeah, it's his first
for fraudulent business
indictments.
records.
He's
So
going to
it's
have
like,
more.
Or he's going to have more. It progresses. And then when he circles back around this way, there's more that hit around the classified stuff. So it's just, I'm still digging through this one. I think I found Stephen Miller in here as well. So I need to update this again because it's just the more I stare, the more I see. So
very extensive. They
are like a huge.
They're
It's
layered.
like a huge jigsaw puzzle, and I was talking to Johnny and Jenny, and it's like there's no way I could possibly catch everything unless I come up with a different way or learn how to ask questions better so that I can be a little bit more focused on what I'm looking for, if that makes sense. So, yeah. Oh, I see Mom.
So
Hi, Peggy.
Hi, Peggy. Can we do a general read or a what's going to happen kind of read for his August? Like, what does it look like? Can I say too, just for informational sake, this is not me fussing, but just for informational sake. If someone has done a reading or some psychic interpretation on their own channel, can you please leave it on their own channel? Please and thank you. If they're on the screen, mention it. If they're not, leave it on their own channel. Trump August.
I don't know if I can go on.
It is what it is.
Oh my goodness. I'd say on top of everything else, Melania might be divorcing him by then. like just to put icing on the cake. Yeah, I get the deviled and moneyed news here, and betrayal and stuff changing and bringing judgment on him, and it's a very rough time. He's put in defense mode, so I feel like he's got more indictments around, well, either money or the votes, the electoral votes. I feel like it may be the campaign fraud stuff going on here, because I've got a powerful authority figure, which is probably Jack Smith. There's something surprising coming out about two people working together on something that brings strength in these cases on Trump. So it looks to me like Alvin Bragg's working with Smith, or Smith's working with Fannie Willis, or with Letitia James. Like, there's two of them. Well, actually, I think there's three of them working together to secure more information. They're also talking to somebody else in secret again, and that is bringing the tower. So I think it looks to me like Jack Smith's kind of winding up his investigation and is getting ready to bring a lot of change for Trump and indictments. Yeah, he's going to get indicted again. Did that make sense? Starting out with a corrupt person, what do you expect?
What do you see better?
I did a box spread. So just to hit the high points, there's a woman delivering some real bad, dangerous news. Like, this comes down like a scythe. Think of this kind of like a tower, sort of, because this is something that ruptures very suddenly. It's accidents. This is bad. And it has to do with down her line, stealing something in secret that she knows about. She has knowledge of them doing something to steal. in secret. I see him crap in his pants with the mice man and writer, like crap in his pants, like in abundance, wanting to go out and do a lot of campaigning. But there's also news that comes out perhaps about the campaign itself. There's a campaign rallies, there's a win, and then there's news about this. But that's all I get around that. I don't see any criminality around this in particular. There's some event that he may cancel because the garden night's down to the scythe. But other than that, the big one is something that was being a team of people working together to steal something, and that news coming in like a what do you call it? A steam train or whatever it is. It's going to be a wreck. So that's what I get. But that's just the high points.
I think that some investigation is wrapping up around that time too, with the Hermit and the Three of Wands. Three of Wands is your sort of signal that you're nearing completion of some initial project, which means after you complete this thing, something else starts. Because when the Four of Wands happens, that's opening night. So now the doors are open. Let's start something else. And so some investigation is wrapping up there, but then something else happens. There is some sort of governmental something that also hands him a very, very, very strong loss. Him and possible few other people, if not 3 total. So there is some hurt coming from them, but it stems from someone looking into something. This is a forensic type thing, so maybe that's the New York thing, because there's also a woman who is betraying as well, or a woman who is handing him a lot of pain. It has something to do around him trying to two-face something, trying to live in this lane and that lane at the same time. So not exactly sure what that is, but it was something that he tried to cover up that was found out, which is why I say it's more of a forensic thing. So the moon is something you have to dig to find because it's under the surface. It wants you to look at the surface and just keep on walking, but it's underneath. And then the Hermit is saying somebody looked. Whatever these documents are, there's some sort of documents. He have 2 governmental documents that he tried to hide. Something will be found out about that. Again, something will be found out about that. I don't know if the exact location will be found, but something will be found as far as someone hoarding documents. And then there are some major changes around personal relationships. So this may lead to some more flips. Because again, I think something is stopping or coming near a completion in the month of August. And then it starts something else. And then this is how it ends. And so there's major, major changes, but these are not changes you can stop. The death happens to everybody. And remember, the one person dead on the death card is the king. So there is something happening for the person at the top, a lot of major changes. This crowning, yeah.
It's huge. And I would like to amend my reading too to add the classified documents that were stolen because it's nice. And then book, so stolen secrets. See what I'm saying? So, yeah. But there's a woman involved there somehow, and I know Jack Smith. Maybe it's someone on Jack Smith's team.
Like
she goes right up that line.
Mm-hmm. She's involved in it some way, somehow. Don't know exactly how, but yeah.
Thank you, Hope.
Well, thank you, Hope. I think there's a lot of betrayal coming for him too. I mean, this is.
When your lawyers are getting lawyers. I mean.
and the Cochran guy just recused himself from that case. So,
and you got to think Weiselberg too. He's in his late 70s. He just spent 4 or 5 months in prison at Rikers for Trump, and they can hit him with even more stuff for tax fraud and a bunch of other stuff. You think he's going to sit there and go, you know what? I love Trump so much. I'm going to live out the rest of my golden years in prison for Rikers. This clown. No,
not Isaac.
I won't have to pay rent or anything. It's all.
all those people that helped him with January 6th, I'm looking at you, Stephen Miller. There's no way that you're going to spend your life in prison for that clown.
Yeah, I find it really funny that Melania hasn't gone with him to New York, like when he was indicted and turned himself in. And she definitely is not going to the Stormy trial because she hates that Trump did that. Can we check in on Melania?
She's not the stand by your man.
I don't really care. Do you? I don't really care. Do you, Jenny?
You slept with that Stormy Trump.
How's she feeling about her husband's woes? Does she care?
Most wives would go to court with their husbands to lend moral support and
at least for image sake, even if you don't like
sake,
him, you know.
Melania, MIA.
Where you be is? What happened? What had happened was I mean, I don't blame you, but where are you? What happened? Well, then, okay. Hi, Lenny.
I'm getting a layered reading.
I just get that she's like, whatever, I'm going on vacation to a bigger resort where there's a large property outdoors with my kid. Bye-bye, see you later. Like, she's not even phased. Like, this is a change and a move. Visiting a park with the house and a kid. That's it. Like, she's like, whatever. Yeah, she's just waiting for him to get tickets to the park. That's what she's waiting on.
Yeah, she's got a totally different perspective on everything. It's too much work and time for her to go, and she's secure somewhere else. I get with a lover. Traveling, likes to travel, but ain't with Trump. She's waiting on this to all get wrapped up, but she thinks he's going to lose the Stormy case is what I'm getting. She's like, he's stuck, he's trapped, he's going to lose that, he's going to have to shell out money. And I think she just sees steady indictments coming for him, and she's just walking away from it all like, oh, well.
I would like to amend my reading as well. I would like to amend my reading as well because it was Stork's writer and Garden, House and Child. Stork's writer, Garden. She may be out there scoping out, networking, social climbing to see who the next baby daddy can be. Like, she's not phased at all.
So I think she is vacationing here or flying somewhere with family, probably mother, father, child, that type of thing. There's some very important man. He's a king of cups, though, so this is not Donald Trump. This is some very important man that she is also traveling with. I won't say who it is. I don't really know, but there's some important man she's also traveling with, and then traveling with family. Why? Loss and grief, loss and ruin, chaos, betrayal, and the devil. So
watch it be Harlan Crow or one of Harlan Crow's little billionaire buddies that she's out there vacationing with.
Because she'll say it, her feelings hurt. The relationship is pretty much done and over anyway.
Maybe it's Ghislaine Maxwell's ex-husband.
There is a woman in the word of warning, and it ain't Melania either. So there's some outside influence as well. So maybe she knows something we don't know. I mean, again, If this is your life, I mean, okay, if this is your life, if you got nothing but chaos and betrayal and Ten of Swords, Five of Cups, that you got to believe me, just look it up and see what it means. Like, who wants this as a life? I would leave you too. I mean,
cheating and swindling and grifting and
that's
well,
her.
I mean, it's not like she's any stranger to it because she was a mistress to Donald Trump herself before she became well.
He was a
as
call
Johnny
girl.
Shirt says, I mean,
dot. So what you gonna do? Okay, well, we'll stay in that arena. I'm gonna jump around because thank y'all for the questions. We got 37, so we're not gonna get to all of them, of course, but so I'll be all over the place with this one. Will Trump be investigated for human rights violations while he was in office? Not charged and convicted, just investigated at least.
I get a yes, but it's way down the road. There's your success and your triumph. People that were coming from far away, be patient with that because that's going to take a long time. The guy committed a freaking mountain of crimes. So this is going to take a very long time to resolve, but yes. I mean, hell, it might even happen posthumously at this point, because this is transition and this is peace. So it might not be until he's gotten tickets to the park, but yes, it's going to be down the road though.
I get a yes too. There's Trump on the bottom. I get strength and bullying, and like a whole ring of them that were bullying immigrants. So they will be talking to people about the manipulations that went on, work that was done, if you catch my drift, like surgeries and things. It will be a while out. But I get, the bullies in the White House, and people in charge of like detention centers that were paid off. So there'll be a money investigation too. But I get it. It may end up in court.
I get there is an investigation, but there might be a fall guy. Here, the Hangman and the Nine of Swords, someone may be sort of sacrificed, if you will, to be that person with the Magician and the Knight of Cups, like a mastermind behind something. As far as he's concerned, I get the Hermit, so investigation, but the Four of Swords, which is retreat. So I don't know if they're not going to look at him anytime soon, as far as this is concerned. But somebody else gets put on the pike, I think, for that too.
Couldn't be his favorite little Nazi, could it?
I hope.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask a follow-up question?
Mm-hmm.
Will Jack Smith be retained longer to investigate further crimes on Trump after his initial indictments? Will he be asked to stay on longer?
Lord, come back. 3 cards fell out. I guess I'll keep those then. Which literally says yes. Got the 4 of Pentacles, there's your retention. Then Wheel of Fortune, there's your time. So I'm going to say yes.
I get a big yes. Jack, you got a job for the next decade if you want one. I get a big old yes. It's like, because there's so much betrayal. I thought at first, because this is a no card for me, I was like, maybe no. But I get a yes. Like the immigrants and all the manipulations there. Thank you, Desiree. He'll have unfinished work. After the tower is brought down on Trump through the courts, he's hired again. And he will be talking to people because he's very strong at this. There's just so much chaos. They need him to come in and try to put some order to this to move it forward.
Crazy thing is, he's guilty. All you really need to do is put the case together. He's threatened you, threatened your family, threatened them, threatened their family, threatened them, threatened their family. Why?
His lawyers trying to find out the names and addresses of
the jurors.
Of the jurors up in New York for E. Jean Carroll so he can go threaten their families.
It's like, I know I'm on the hook for 34 different felonies, but let me commit 70 more while I'm at it.
Yeah, let me just.
I mean, he committed crimes during his impeachment. It's like, you can't stop. Anyway, what you get there?
I get that he's not very certain at first, but he would be happy to take on the offer because there's something here about self-dealing. So
probably the Kushner Saudi
not
money
just that,
and
not just that, but government contracts and everything else. A lot of self-dealing. So besides the Saudis and all that
Ivanka
stuff,
and all her Chinese stuff.
but besides that, there's self-dealing here. So like government contracts to his buddies, government contracts to himself, building a shell company and giving yourself taxpayer money. You know what I'm saying? Like PPE stuff, so just
who he hired as contractors to build his wall and
not just all that, but it was like when he was in office and I said this was like a smash and grab operation, it was a smash and grab operation. Like everybody just broke into the freaking safe and just started taxpayer money everywhere.
It was like a smash and grab with 100-car pileup.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. With him at the pen, what do you want? What do you want?
He was driving the truck. Remember that picture of him driving the truck?
Yeah.
The semi truck.
What did you get, Johnny?
I had 2 cards fell out. So I had the 4 of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune. Retention and time. Well, speaking of those smash and grab, Truth Social, because his financial disclosures were disclosed. Truth Social earned because these numbers are just alike, between $5 and $25 million. He earned $201 from Truth Social, even though he owns 90% of the company. But all he earned was $201.
Make that make sense.
You make any of that make sense.
Yes, 5 and 25 million are so close together.
Yeah.
And I only made $201.
You made $201.
Every company I've ever worked for had a bottom line exact number that they knew they made.
I mean, especially when you have investors.
Works. You have a final bottom line profit number.
That math isn't mathing is all I'm saying.
And all of his stuff is like that. It's like somewhere between this and somewhere between that. But it's never like somewhere between $5 and $8. It's like $5 and $6,000. It's like, why? What's going on in between here is what we don't understand. But anyhow, the question is, what besides, I don't know how you have to ask it for Lenormand. I know you can be broad with tarot, but what is Truth Social besides a social media platform? Because what are you using this for exactly? I mean, we know, but I want to see what the cards say. What are you using this for that you only earn 200? Because you're not taking a big dividend from this. Then what is it for?
They took money from a Russian oligarch.
Mm-hmm.
To help
like, what do you? Is it truly just a money laundering pot, or
was little Devin Nunes trying to buy some more cows or something?
Thank you, Beatrice.
As he was running through social, he was looking for some more cows. You invested in some air fruits?
He was trying to find the ones with the chocolate milk in it. That's they're out there somewhere. I'm gonna keep that too.
Well, of course, the moon card's on the bottom. Nothing to see here. It's mysterious.
Oh, I should have kept that card for show and tell.
What is it besides a social media platform? Is a very manipulative way to deliver what you want and make it kind of go separate directions while keeping it covered up. So it's a delivery system with multiple routes to keep everything secret. So kind of like a shell company, even though it's not really, because here in the center it splits. It's got options and choices. It has alternatives to manipulate stuff in secret and keep it hidden, squirrel stuff away. But you can still access it when you want to.
Yeah, it is like a shell company, like for image only.
Because there's your manipulation, there's your delivery. It gets delivered different directions, and then that's where your success comes in, and you can keep it hidden and just kind of
like your deli in the front and your gambling ring in the back.
Yeah, like your laundry mat, Johnny. Oh, we do overnight service for, but then in the back you got all the mobsters, Yeah, like your deli.
It's a work in progress because there's always unfinished business, unfinished work, global connections, maybe some of that smash and grab stuff, but dealings with overseas. They try to make it look like a social media thing, right? A strong messaging center. But that's not what it is at all. It's like chaos. They stir up the fighters, but it's a cover up. It's an image only. I think ultimately it's inspired by oligarchs and bullying and winning at all costs, dark money, making money. It's money laundering.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Super Truthful. Three of Swords and the Devil. There is the devil and betrayal. So we got something. The first two cards, mind you. Do we even need to go further? But I mean, for first two cards, the Three of Swords can be your pain, your separation, your betrayal, that type of thing. That is meant to because you got your devil there too. It's meant to take and corrupt. You got the World and the Two of Wands with the King of Wands. This is a playground for some guys, for CEOs and COOs and people who are at the top of things. It is also meant to obscure the Hangman and the Sun. You can't hide anything in the sun, but there is a perspective about this.
Like everything looks good on the surface.
It looks good on the surface because the devil is right in the middle of these. And so what you see is not what you get type of thing. It's meant to look a certain way. It's meant to look successful too, and it's really not. And then there's the tower and the word of warning.
Just a little reminder too, the brighter the light, the darker the shadows.
Mm-hmm. And so you have some exposure that may be happening here too with the tower. And I think this comes from some frustration, if you ask me, because the hangman wants a return, but it's stuck. It wants the enlightenment. It wants the sun. But there's something here that's like blown open, like this is what's actually going on and that type of thing. And then the King of Swords becomes pressured. But it's meant to hide. And you know what I do not have is Pentacles. Because it's probably meant to hide all kinds of things, not just money. And so what? I don't know. But it's not a social media platform in the traditional sense. But we knew that part, but I want to see what this said. That's all. Speaking of traditional, the oatmeal and vanilla pudding himself, Mike Pence, because you can't get no more plain than him.
You better be careful around the Satan, because the Satan will finger him. Vanilla, he might switch from chocolate to vanilla. And if you have not seen Trump's ads, taking out Three Finger Ronnie as the pudding cup guy.
I don't know. Pence might like that. I don't think
Those are the best ads. It's like, yeah, okay, it's a Trump ad trying to put down Ron DeSatan, but they're so funny. They're so petty. They're just hysterical.
Jesus.
Keep your fingers off our stuff, Ron.
He's dipping, down there.
It starts out, he's dipping his finger into things he shouldn't. And it's like calling the kettle black.
I'm tickled.
Oh, I can't
Thank
breathe.
you, Thank you very much.
Oh my God, it's the best commercial ever. I think they were playing it in a Midas Touch video or somewhere. I was rolling.
Okay. Well, speaking, this is about Mike Pence. Mike
consistently paid me $20,000.
Wait.
Loves sticking his fingers where they don't belong.
Oh,
And
no.
talking about pudding. DeSantis has his dirty fingers all over senior entitlements, like cutting Medicare, slashing Social Security, even raising our retirement age. Tell Ron DeSantis to keep his pudding fingers off our money. Oh, let's get this man a spoon. Make America great again.
I hate to say a Trump commercial, but it is so classic.
Oh, God in heaven. First of all, who they pay to do a pudding cup like this?
He just start out, Ron DeSantis is sticking his fingers where they don't belong. Thank you, Spirit.
Thank you, Spirit Watcher.
Oh, I can't breathe.
I mean, imagine getting the call from your agent. Hey, I got a commercial for you today. Guess
I'll watch that commercial all day, every day if it's on YouTube to make the, Trump pay the advertising bill.
That's not pudding.
and to watch Three Finger Ronnie.
Oh my God. What is there? Some meatballs at the end of it.
Oh God.
Well, anyway. Okay. Speaking of meatballs, Mike Pence. Mike Pence went down to the NRA convention and got himself a good boo. And then said, I love you too, to the crowd after they booed him. What I want to know.
Because he reads a room so well. like January.
Like January.
oh God.
What did I miss? I stepped back. What did I miss?
I can breathe.
Oh, Lord have mercy, Jesus.
Okay, let's see. We started by playing Trump's advertisement about Ron DeSantis, showing him sticking his fingers in the pudding where they don't belong.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And then we went into Mike Pence, and Johnny was talking about he got booed at the NRA convention. And said, "I love you too." And I was like, "Yeah, because he can read a room so well, like January 6th."
Oh my God!
They was coming to kill you.
Oh my God! Oh my God! These idiots! Please make them all run for president. Just please. But I want 20 different Republicans running. Just like last time.
Oh gosh!
Can't do it.
Three finger Ronnie, huh? 3 finger Ronnie on that commercial. I was like, oh, the gloves are off.
Ron DeSantis is sticking his fingers where they don't belong.
Like Johnny said, that's not an exam, sir. That's a date. That's a date. That's a date, sir.
I can't get it together. Sorry. That commercial did me in. And the only thing missing was his little white boots. It's like somebody said on TV the other night they were surprised he didn't leave the NRA convention to run back to Fort Lauderdale for another fashion opportunity to get his white boots out.
Break out the boots. Florida's underwater. It's like...
Oh man.
Okay.
I'm crying.
Oh God in heaven, I can't do it. Wait.
Oh, I must love Trump because I'm crying, because everybody cries over him.
Jesus
I
Christ.
thought that was like the stupidest thing. Meanwhile, there's a video of a cop literally not holding the door open for him, and it almost hits him in the face.
They released a statement saying no one was crying in this office.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure not. I mean, from laughter, maybe.
Yeah.
He had to put lotion on his dry ass fingers because they could get his fingerprints. Maybe he should dip his fingers in some pudding. That's what
He's about to get taken to court here with Eugene Carroll for dipping his finger somewhere he shouldn't have.
And mind you, when you go to jail, they give you all the pudding you want probably in there.
That's right.
Melania put some money on your books, I'm sure. Okay. Pence, that's where we started. Pence went to the NRA convention. Like Jen said, he does not know how to read a room very well. And they booed him because I guess they wanted him to overturn the election and they're still angry and But they didn't bring the gallows this time. What I want to know, though, is he may have a political ambition, inspiration to one day be president. Does he have any chance whatsoever after this reception? Are they on his side? Do they hate him forever? What? Oh, your aspirations are gone, buddy. Why was he even there?
His fly would have got a better reception. Oh my God.
I can't. Well, Old vanilla pudding himself.
He's got no chance in hell. Here's the man, Mike Pence, with the fly on his head. His chances, no. No.
That's right, CC. He was in his home state too.
No.
Not just at the NRA convention, but in Indiana.
He's trying to move it forward. He thinks when all the secrets about Trump come out through all these investigations, that it'll secure a spot for him. So he's trying to manipulate growth from Trump's base. But instead, he's put in defense mode, and he's gonna have to give up. It's not gonna do anything. He's got somebody working on his campaign, that's trying to get him to stay in there, that's giving him a lot of money, partnering with him and trying to get him to hang in there, but he's out in the cold. He's not gonna make it anywhere. Vanilla is not the flavor of the month.
And I gotta say to Darren, because Darren is saying Mike Pence is so boring, he reminds me of a high school chemistry teacher in the 70s. I had the coolest chem teacher ever in high school. And again in college, we almost accidentally blew up the lab. And he was so freaking cool. Like Mike Pence wishes he was as cool as a chem teacher. Like, this guy, he could put the dead to sleep. That's how boring.
I get that too. The star is the first card. Almost like, futuristically speaking, he may have a chance. But what you need, nostalgia, the moon, you need that person from back in the day to be prosecuted. You need Trump to be proven guilty to the Fox News audience. They have to turn the entire table and say, look what he did to you this entire time. Then you can emerge as a person who upheld the election and the hero.
You need Fox News to also be seen as spreading the big lie, because they're still interviewing.
What Mike Pence needs is a time machine, is what he needs. He needs a time machine, and that's not going to happen.
Let's go back to right before the fly flew onto his head. Let's just
go back to when you got that phone call and said, "Hey, do you want to be my VP?" No. Because there is the Hermit and the Six of Wands, so there's no chance. It's his celebrity here has been isolated, and it's wandering. It's searching through the dark. The star is your star of the Magi, so that's your direction. You need some truth and some honesty. That would help. But as a Repub, you probably don't have none of that. Not all Republicans are liars, but you are. I knew one that's very honest. That's why I say that. I'm pretty sure there's one in the chat that's very honest too. Anyhow, Monday, Fox News, Dominion, round 1, fight.
Is that going to be televised? I haven't even seen yet.
I don't know.
And they just got busted for hiding evidence from the jury. Yeah. So have fun with that, Fox.
I want to know how that first day is going to go for Fox News, for Rupert.
After the jury pool, first day of the actual trial.
Because it's we're going that direction. And then I have one more Fox question after this.
Yeah, I'm sure Jerry Hall's going to be laughing her butt off because Rupert broke up with her in an email. That's how he broke up off the wedding. Like, it's not working for me. I'm getting a divorce in an email while she was waiting for him over in England to join her. Because, the other woman.
course you get the devil. Why not? Call the devil by name, be prepared to entertain, I always say.
He knows he's going to have lost over the lies they were telling. He knows he's going to have to pay out. How's it going to go? It's like there's surprise about who was working together on this and counting the votes and all of that and how they like change stuff, promoting the big lie and everything and how corrupt it was. The evidence is so strong. He knows he's going to lose. He just right from day one, he's going to know he's lost.
They're going to know real quick. They're going to have to pay out a buttload of money. There's the small network of people, so your grand jury, okay? They're going to be seen as trying to elevate and increase their chances of a big windfall. So their audience, this would be your audience, the small audience, and everything that they told the audience just to elevate their own fortunes. But it turns out that there's going to be an increase on how much is going to have to be paid out. So I would say it's not going to go well for Fox News at all.
At all. The 8 of Swords and the 3 of Wands, you are trapped in this, and this is almost, I don't think this is going to be a long, drawn-out thing either. I think this is almost done. There's going to be here, too, with the Devil and the 6 of Wands, the people at the top, the celebrity, center of attention, have a lot of corruption, and that is going to also come out. That is something they're trying to conceal as well with that 8 of Swords. The 8 of Swords is restriction, but it's not invisibility. So this is something that was going to come out. Investigations here. There's some poverty coming too, with the 5 of Pentacles and the Page of Cups. Some poverty around the business and possibly the host as well, because this is also creativity. So your stories that you tell. There may be some people on the way out. The Tower and the 6 of Swords. So there's a lot of kaboom about to happen to the fixed noise. And then some woman here, or a judge of some sort, hands you a tower moment. One tower moment.
Can I ask a question, Johnny?
Mm-hmm.
I got one too.
Just recently with that kid that got caught by the FBI. If anybody wants to know, when they say this is what happens, how Donald Trump was treated is not how any of us would be treated, go watch the video of that airman getting arrested. I'm talking SWAT team, people out there in fatigues with these crazy ass trucks, guns everywhere. Like, that's how anybody else would be treated. Not like Trump 2 years later. Can we please have our documents back? Tucker Carlson, that very same day, did his show talking about what a great patriot that kid was, and that same Marjorie
Him and MTG, yeah.
And so Vote Vets, since that whole stuff with Fox News came out with the lawsuit that they were lying and defending Trump's insurrection, they've come out with a campaign to try to ban Fox News from military bases. And then this guy, Tucker Carlson, comes out and does his whole show about, hey, it's a great idea for soldiers and active duty military to put out classified information. So will this help Vote Vets to get Fox News off of military installations? Because we're basically telling military personnel, it's okay, go do this.
Meanwhile, you revealed there's U.S. military in the Ukraine, and How does that not put them in danger? And then how is that such a good thing that you just repeated that garbage on Fox? Like,
yeah. On military bases,
brain melts.
On military bases. Military hospitals, too, because I used to work at Balboa. It was everywhere.
We had an incident once in a grocery store I worked at, and this guy, white guy, older white guy, he's white. He likes Fox News. Me personally, I got my earphones on. I don't care what you watch. But this lady comes in there. Oh, we're not watching that, and this she turns, and then. From then on, because they had a whole incident between the two of them, from then on, all we could watch was Family Feud and
Put it on the Home and Garden Television or the Food Network.
Yeah.
They're not radicalizing people. They're not radicalizing people on those networks at all. I get that the decision is going to have to come from on high. So I'm not sure if this would be like the Pentagon or the actual bases one by one up to the decision is up to the entity itself, but it's going to have to come up from up high.
Yeah, I'm not getting a yes, no. It's like it's going to have to come like from an admiral or somebody very high up the chain, the lies and how it affects security. It's getting a lot of attention. People are talking about it and, giving birth to something new, getting clarity about this network and how they operate. But there's money involved. There's money involved even on our military bases. So I don't know if they get some kind of kickback or something.
They do not.
There's money involved somewhere.
That money may be because of the cable companies. When you get cable, Fox News is the one that gets the biggest profit from your cable package.
Right.
So that might be it. But there is no kickbacks from Fox News to the government. There is not.
They'd like to put them out in the cold, but they may get away with it. And I get again something about money.
I get the Page of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the Queen of Cups, and the King of Cups in the beginning of the read. There is a lot of support. There is a lot of talks about this. This is a lot of people on one accord too, and this comes from everywhere, all kinds of communities, all kinds of people. But there's a lot of support for this type of thing. Then the word of warning: there is a tower, though. So. Someone here, high up military emperor card, does sort of make some sort of decision because I get my America card here. It ended in the 3 of Wands, which means something approaches. So I clarified and got the 6 of Wands. So possible victory because the 3 of Wands does not go backwards. This means that something is nearing its completion. Something is going to be successfully done. So I'm going to go with the yes, just out of optimism alone. I think so. Yes.
I'm with you, Tony. It's just with that mess, you do not need it anywhere on a military base at all.
I got a follow-up question. Rupert Murdoch, who's in his 90s, got another little lady on the side now. He's always pitted his kids against each other for who to run Fox News. They've changed out, a couple of times who was running it. Does he even care if it survives? Because he's got a lot of other investments. He's got newspapers and
not to mention all the money he'll ever need.
Yeah. And he's, close to death. He doesn't have a lot longer. He's in his 90s. Does he even care if they win this?
That's a good question.
Because he just looks kind of like he doesn't every time I see him on TV.
It's kind of like, oh, well, they found out. Good right type of thing.
No. Not my problem anymore kind of energy. He's got real estate all over the world, and
the man who helped destroy America, I guess.
His ego for what he built up in Fox News, I would have thought would make him care, but
does he care if Fox News survives? It's his biggest moneymaker, but he's got other investments and other networks as well. So there's your financial windfall, and then there's your networks. It's kind of a wash because they all bring in this huge sums of money, and then there's networks and places where he's got audiences. So there's Fox Sports, there's Fox Business, there's Fox everything and a bunch of other stuff, but maybe Fox itself, but he's got so many corporations that it's just like
it's a drop in the bucket. It's more just for political crap he wants to stir up. Because I get, his wall's still standing. The work on Fox News time's up on the network. He thinks it's attributed to the celebrities that are on it, so to speak. I get he doesn't really care. He's like, oh well, we lost. He's greedy. He's going to move on to the next thing that he's got his money from, and the way he is structured, he's looking at it differently because he's got investments elsewhere. I get a no. He doesn't care.
Here's an idea: have Elon Musk buy it. He'll have that thing ruined in a week.
2 days.
I was being generous, Bonnie, but you're more on point.
He'd fire half the staff, including all the cameramen, so then they have nothing to show because nobody turns on the camera. That's him. 2 of Cups, 4 of Swords. Sort of. He cares a little bit. The 2 of Cups is an agreement. The 4 of Swords is a retreat. So if it makes money, great. If it doesn't, then I'll be over here. I mean, does he own everything Fox, or does Disney own? Because Disney purchased a lot of stuff. They didn't buy Fox News, though. I think they bought Fox Entertainment.
I'm not sure, but I think he owns like Wall Street Journal and maybe New York Post or something else. He owns a bunch of papers around the world, and I'm sure he's got stuff in Australia too, where he must around a lot.
Because I got the 4 of Pentacles. There is the Stingy Man, the 8 of Swords restriction, but there's the 9 of Cups, and then so he's gotten what he wanted. He sits pretty. He's fat and happy. So, not to mention he's the crypt keeper, and he still gets brides half his age because money does that to people. So, I mean, does he care? I don't really think so. I think a part of him cares because you don't want a business to fail necessarily. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, what is it going to affect in the long run?
He's still going to have his multi-million-dollar homes and
he destroyed America.
Side pieces. Yeah.
I just can't wait to be like stuck in the ninth circle of hell for all eternity in a frozen lake with somebody walking around and kicking them in the head.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that'd be great.
Every day, all day long.
Every day for the rest of eternity.
So not last Fox question. Fox question here, number whatever. The month of May, around the office, around the Fox News building, what is it going to be like? We're now with them on trial and everybody is getting drips and drops of information. It's not going to be televised, someone in the chat said, but I'm pretty sure we'll have a report here and a report there because it's a big deal. And not to mention a lot of left-wing media is probably going to really sink their teeth into this type of thing. So what is it going to be like for the personnel of Fox News, high or low?
Because the former employees and former aides and everybody are telling stories. You got the shareholders suing you. Is everybody job hunting?
Because the next question is the Smartmatic, because they're not even done with the lawsuits yet.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. Thank you, Miss Katuro.
I mean, it's like working for a failing retailer. Everybody sits there all day, every day, openly on the phone, talking to recruiters and trying to find another job before they close the doors.
And can I just say thank you all for watching and liking and subscribing and your super chats and all that stuff that you don't have to do that you do anyway. So just an appreciation to you. Thank you very much. Does not go unnoticed. I mean, how can you? I mean, okay, a job is a job, I understand, but why work there?
You would think it'd be toxic.
It's like,
isn't that why Homegirl got fired? Because she was sexually harassing people, Don Jr.'s girlfriend. And then what's his face? The other guy got fired after years and years and years of sexually harassing people.
Bill O'Reilly did too.
Yeah, that guy, Bill O'Reilly.
And then blamed God once he got fired. That was cute.
Yeah. Yeah, because, God.
Well, I get in general, it starts out as business as usual, but it's like they know they're going to lose this lawsuit. So I get they're kind of banding together, kind of, in the supply closets, so to speak, trying to find powerful connections, looking for a job.
Thank you, Roberta.
They're anxious. Don't know where they're going.
I get that the growth is going to diminish, and there's going to be a lot of trouble, a lot of backstabbing, a lot of betrayals, and people making decisions to go home. And how all this stuff is going to affect their families. Their decisions from the company is going to affect them personally and affect their family decisions to go home. Because this right here is toxic. There's your growth, and it gets eaten away here. This is anxiety and trouble and betrayals, and then splitting up families. So some people might have a come to Jesus moment, like, I can't believe I'm working in a place that's dividing America. Because this is a division, dividing America, dividing families, all the trouble all the trouble we're helping to create. So some people might have a come to Jesus moment and be like, is this really worth it? So the employees, I asked about the employees at the company in May.
Mm-hmm. That's who I was asking. Yeah. Thank you, Lisa. Asking about, I got the King of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. There are some people at the top that will have some sort of new opportunity, or maybe this is more of a, because I get the Fool and the High Priestess. This may be an attempt to make things look stable and normal. Because the High Priestess has an agenda, and then the Fool is a plan that's not really that well thought out because it's spontaneous. This may be a little cleanup, because the Magician is here and Magician manipulates. And so there is some sort of image that they're trying to portray that everything is okay when it is very, very much so not. The Two of Pentacles, there's a lot of balance going forward, especially for the people there. The people at the top, men specifically at the top, will do all right. The lower people with the Page of Cups and the Strength and the Six of Cups, these people here, like literal assistants and pages and blah, blah, blah. They have some juggling to do, because there will be some cutbacks, especially after billions are starting to disappear from the company, and then advertisers are getting angry, and then the shareholders are suing you, and then Jesus is coming back and he's whacking the finger. So everything is about to happen, and everybody's got to now think, I wonder if CNN is hiring, type of thing. So
I got one more question on Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Why did Tucker interview Trump? I mean, you're in the middle of a lawsuit where your emails and texts came out that you said you hated him. And you're in the middle of a lawsuit over spreading the big lie and bad mouthing Dominion. And you have the person behind it all come on and do an interview with Tucker. Why did Tucker interview Trump? I thought a couple of times he looked like he was going to burst out laughing. He was like, expression. And why did he, in the middle of all these lawsuits, did he let him back on there?
How was Tucker Carlson's text messages exposed?
Through discovery.
The discovery, okay.
In the court, through the court.
Because the first card is the Tower. So there's some exposure. And the Page of Cups of emotion. Queen of Cups, he had to show support. Two of Wands, because this is something for the future. They're planning out support. They're not done with him yet. And then the Two of Swords, he had a decision to make. I think the text messages, because Donald Trump heard about this. And this was not something he wanted to do, but it's something he had to do because he had to keep up the front. Because he is part of the big lie tellers, the Hannitys and the Tuckers and the them people. If it was Tom from the mailroom, then nobody cares. But the people who are on the top on TV all the time with the bigger ratings, you have to keep up the front. And then this exposure exposed. Because again, the Tower is accidental, but it's forced exposure. This is not something I would have told you if you didn't kick the door in, type of thing. That's what I think.
Yeah. I get the loser. I get it was time because of the courts to show the manipulation and the because of the indictments or the lawsuit to try to move everything to put the blame on Trump. Like, we're just doing interviews, we're not the one making up the lies. We're just doing the interviews, and almost like they want to say they were trapped too, like they were misled too. But I get it's a betrayal for the courts. It's premeditated and used to make everybody, the jurors emotional.
I didn't watch that interview. Did they talk about Stormy Daniels at all?
I didn't watch the whole thing. I don't remember him talking about Stormy.
Well, could I get the whip and the bouquet, because that would be like pleasurable sex. Oh, that's not such a big deal. Why are you being, that's not a big deal. So what? You had sex to feed on the lie or whatever. But other than that, it's a setup to cut the head off the snake. Because here you have the criticism. Here you have the pleasure, the transition. So they're moving away, the betrayal, and then cutting the head off the snake. So
trying to make it sound like not a big deal.
Yeah. It's not a big deal that you paid for sex, but then at the same time, they're setting him up for a backstabbing here. They're going to Caesar him, so.
Makes sense. I think, who was that? Type that.
It's almost like they're going to try to tell Dominion, you should be suing Trump, not us. We're just reporting the news,
Except they have all the tapes. They have all the tapes with Rudy Giuliani and everybody saying that everything about Dominion was a lie and they didn't have proof and they knew it was a lie, but keep pushing
it. Fox knew it. And Fox knew it too. I'll be right.
It's not going to work.
I think if you spell Tucker with an F, it'll still let you type that in the comments. I think it'll let you type that in the comments. I'm just saying. Anyway.
Yeah, that guy has bazillions of dollars, Johnny. Why?
I was thinking
Why?
before I started pulling cards too that he has to be obsessed with fame and notoriety and that type of thing, because you don't have to work there and do that and be the mouthpiece for Donald Trump. If you hate him so much, go work somewhere else. Go do something else. Go do anything else, literally. But
I
this.
had watched the Joy Reid show, and a few weeks back, I couldn't tell you when, but she did a thing where she was going through Tucker Carlson's resume, and he's been trying to make it big on TV. He only lasted at CNN for a couple of weeks or a month or so before he got canned. He went on Dancing with the Stars. Like you said, based on your reading, it looks like he wants just the fame, and it's like, so you're willing to sell your soul, and everybody knows except your tiny little audience what a despicable liar you are, just to have a camera on you. That's just gross.
And I can understand it to a certain extent, because people on YouTube do it. All they care about is who's watching, and this and the clicks and the like me and the da. Like the little boy, I got him for a video reading I need to do, who does the pranks, and he did a prank on somebody and then got shot. He said he's going to go back and do it anyway because likes and views and clicks. And I'm thinking, oh, it's this. I mean, I get it, but I can't personally. I don't want to be known like that. Senator Whitehouse asked the DOJ to investigate Thomas because this is becoming too big to just say, this Supreme Court, what can you do? And there was no rule for this. And you can't just keep throwing your hands up and saying, what do I do now? So Senator Whitehouse asked the DOJ to investigate. Will they? Anyone?
Because there is a law about real estate you have to report. You might get away with the vacations and stuff, but the real estate, that's a black and white in the law.
Well, they investigate. At least somebody just look into it. I ain't saying you got to throw him under the jail. That would be a bonus too. But
the thing is, like, he probably wouldn't get thrown in jail. He'd probably just get fined.
Mm-hmm.
But it shows all his corruption for not recusing himself on a bunch of cases.
They're saying that even more on Thomas came out today. I haven't heard anything because I haven't been on Twitter. What came out today, Johnny?
I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't been on the news today.
I read the comment earlier. That's been you.
I mean, what a power couple. You got the wife that is paid for by the guy that bought your property, but also helped with the insurrection. I mean, and you're sitting on the Supreme Court.
Untouchable. Untouchable. Untouchable.
Thank you, me, myself, and I.
I get a yes that DOJ will look into him. All the manipulations and stuff that have been going on for a long time in secret, but the Republicans are going to burden the crap out of this. I do feel like, because Thomas is trapped in this, like he knows he knows he's going to be watched. It might put some pressure on the Supreme Court to make some changes here. So maybe they'll get an ethics code of conduct. I don't see impeachment or taking him out or.
I don't like my cards, Johnny. What did you get?
I get no, not really. I mean, there might be a judge that makes a statement, but that's I got the Fool and the Knight of Wands. someone taking charge, but this is not, this may just be cosmetic. The fool has no plan. So this is someone who may just come out and say, well, we'll look into something and we'll look into this and we'll have conversations with blah, 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 blah. So 10 of Pentacles and the 9 of Cups, there's your Supreme Court for me with the 10 of Pentacles, 9 of Cups, sit pretty. These people are almost untouchable.
They're untouchable.
The 5 of Swords is your dishonor, your bully card, you win at all costs. The Ace of Pentacles is your finances, your money, your cash, your things, your opportunities. 6 of Wands, person center of attention, that would be him. And then the 3 of Wands is how it ends. This is anticipation for something. I clarified with the 6 of Swords, anticipation for transition, moving on. I don't get the yes.
I don't get a yes either.
I mean,
there's your
yeah, if he gets fined, it'll be like $20,000 and move on.
There's your burdens and your guilt. There's the betrayal, but then there's innocence. This is 1 year minimum. If there's trouble, it doesn't come from this. It comes from this.
Or a small punishment.
No, it's not a small punishment. This is innocent.
Go first.
It would have to go here to make it a small punishment. This is innocence. So for the next year, I wouldn't anticipate anything. When the trouble comes, it comes from this is where the trouble is. The betrayal. This is almost like treason. Almost, but not quite. Do you see what I'm saying? So it doesn't come from his actions. It comes from that.
A woman.
Okay? A problematic woman. Do you see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah, go over there.
Get her on something, it might force him to resign.
Yeah, go on your vacations with your wife, keep selling properties, take all the money you can. Nothing's going to happen until they nail her ass to the cross. Then it's like, oh. And there's not even anything Roberts could do. Anyways, he has no way of disciplining. What's his face? Thomas. It's just.
I mean, Roberts, if he wanted to do something, he would put an ethics clause in, a code of conduct or something. He's obviously not going to do anything. No, it's been proposed so many times by Sheldon Whitehouse, and he's just like, no. And it's like, okay, drip, drip, drip on Thomas. Wait till these people get hold of all the information on I like beer. Wait till that starts dripping. Then what are you going to do? So.
We had a question on.
He was claiming money from a defunct partnership. So like a corporation that hasn't been around, and I don't even know how many years, but he's been claiming money on it. That's what they're saying came out today.
Sounds like an illegal write-off too, tax write-off.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, Johnny.
No, I'm good. I'm looking up something, so that helped. 2013, that's what I was looking for. Katie Porter is in the news now because her ex-husband alleges physical and verbal abuse during their marriage, and they divorced in 2013 is what the internet said. And so that's coming up now because she wants to run for Senate, I believe. And so they're saying that she's standing by that, no, she did not abuse him, that he actually got arrested and a restraining order was put against him for abusing her.
And she got custody of the kids.
Yes. And so
he probably abused her, and she got her little whiteboard out and said, look.
Because he said that, she would call him dumb. You're too dumb to own a cell phone and all these type of things. And he said that she punched him in the arm hard or hit him in the arm hard enough to leave a bruise. And she dumped potatoes on his head. Very Dolores Claiborne of her, I suppose. And so I'm like, okay, this is just out of nowhere. I mean, it could be. I mean, she may look nice to us, but maybe she's hell to live with.
Potatoes, or is it like the Donald Trump story where his brother dumped mashed potatoes on his head?
Apparently they were hot, is what he said. That's what he's alleging. But again, on paper, he has been arrested for abuse. And so Will this story affect her in any way or not? Because he's standing by his claims of abuse, and of course that was on Fox News.
Of course,
is where that was.
they probably paid him $100,000 to come on there.
Because other outlets are reporting it, but they're reporting it as a story and not from a person's perspective. And so, from his perspective, that was on Fox News. Should you care to hear it, I guess.
Yes, it'll affect her, but not how he anticipates. Because Democrats don't watch Fox News, but people, she'll have to be defending against this, crash and surprise. But women who have been burdened will come out in droves to support her. Women who have been abused will come out in abundance to vote for her.
I get this is just a smear campaign to try to mobilize conservatives because they desire that district, which I will say her district is right up the street from me in Orange County. That used to be blue. Red. She flipped it blue. So there's your mobilization. There's your conservatives, and there's the passion. So
where is Feinstein? Because it's Feinstein's district she's running for.
No, Feinstein is a senator.
Right. She's running to take her spot.
Yeah, but the smear campaign for Katie Porter to mobilize the conservatives and make them passionate. Do you see what I'm saying? So
they want her district back.
They want the district back, is what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
Do you see what I'm saying? So
even though she's not running, they're trying to roll up the Republican.
The district is right up the street, and it used to be red, and she was the one that flipped it to blue. So
okay.
Johnny, did you go?
Oh, I did not. What Ian got is what I got. So I was eager to move on for whatever reason. Maybe I was trying to be too petty. Calm down, slow down, stop living in the future. The 8 of Swords and the 9 of Pentacles, will this have an effect? Yes, but not the one he expects. I think she will actually have something locked in and some security at that too. This does limit possible conservatives or independents, but there is something here about droves of women, though. A lot of them coming to support and coming to her aid, because this is going to have sort of that Me Too effect to where you believe the woman, believe the woman, believe the woman type thing. And so this is not going to have the effect that he wants. In fact, it's almost a blessing. Or it is a blessing. You just have to look at it that way, but it is a blessing.
And especially with this GOP hostility towards women in general.
Yes.
Anti-abortion, anti-choice, anti-whatever. You're just adding fuel to the fire at this point. Like,
speaking of fire, flame on. Lindsey Graham is morphing into Donald Trump. He's got the orange skin. He's got that Simpson color hair. Is this okay? To be fair, is this by coincidence that one day he just decided to spend more time outside under orange light, or once why?
Let me add a little more to that too, because remember when he was running for president and Trump was first running in 2015, and he said if Donald Trump's elected, he will destroy us and we will deserve it. Like he was like he's a racist, narcissist, race baiting, blah 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 blah. Like
Graham's a psychic.
So yeah, and now he's like, oh, they shouldn't be prosecuting him and everything. It's like, what does he truly think of Trump? Like now he's mentoring him and looking like him, and
you forgot his televangelist moment when he was crying on Fox News, begging people to donate to Donald Trump or pray for him. And I said, I will gladly pray. I will pray that the fiery pits of hell open up and swallow him whole. Like, that's as much a prayer as you're going to get out of me for that one.
I mean, to me, he was the most psychic of everybody because he's right. He will destroy you.
Has been.
He will destroy their party, and they will deserve it.
What's the question, Johnny?
I want to know, is it coincidence? Am I being petty? And it's coincidence that he is morphing into Donald Trump. Or is he morphing into Donald Trump? Like, he likes the orange skin and the Simpson hair. And like, is he trying to be just like his hero? Does he idolize him a little too much?
Is he trying to send a message like because he idolizes him, or is he trying to pacify him by saying, look,
like Monique Pence, like Eminem stand, to where it's you become, and that's where the word fan came from, was fanatic. It's so you are becoming a little more than just a supporter.
Like the woman that's had all the surgeries to look like Barbie.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Lindsay, are you going to start wearing diapers?
He probably does. He wears pads, I'm sure. He ain't graduated yet. Oh. Okay. He even has little orange hair too. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay.
So is it a coincidence? No. I get that he has knowledge about the phone calls that were made, and he's really like OMFG. So betraying himself by undergoing some cosmetic surgery in the hopes that when they come to arrest him, they'll confuse him with Trump. So he'll be like the body double. So they'll arrest the wrong guy. That's his plan, y'all. That's his plan.
You know, that's so funny because I've got like there's a handshake deal going on here. He's very anxious about Trump and the investigations on him. I get he's drinking a lot. And all these changes that he's going through, he's trying to beautify himself because cups for me are making yourself pretty. He's trying to improve his looks, to appear more successful to like the base. So it's an appeal to the base. He's working on votes and trying to gain support. It's a message. It's a subliminal message. It's like, oh, I look great. I look like Trump.
I'm just like him.
Power play too.
Thank you, MJ, for the gift there.
What's that saying? I am the master of disguise. I am the master of disguise. I am the master.
I mean, this is the spy card too. I mean, but why? Of all the people in the world that you can look like, why that? Anyway, there's the King of Pentacles. I think there's some admiration for his lifestyle. Donald Trump eats what he wants. He goes where he wants. He sleeps with who he wants. He drives what he wants. It's like he's fanatical now. He has too much admiration for this person. He likes his things. He likes his possessions. He wants to be in that world. Remember, he said he was a horrible
buried on a golf course right next to him.
At one point, Donald Trump was a horrible person, but the more time Lindsay spent with him, the more he liked Donald Trump. And I don't think it was just because he was trying to get in with the president. I think he actually likes him because, mind you, Lindsey Graham is not our kind of people. It's not like we like the same type of people. So it is possible that he could like Donald Trump because he's not, Anyway, but is he morphing into him? Yes, he is, because he likes him just a little too much, if you ask me, which means he may have a bell or two that's not ringing, and it should be.
Oh my God!
Okay.
Look like him, so when they come to arrest him, they'll mistake him for Trump. They'll mistake Trump for him. I'm
Trump's talked
keeping my
him into
guns.
being his body double.
Yeah.
Lindsey, come down here and visit me in Mar-a-Lago around, August 5th. We'll see what's going on.
Well, another of his supporters, Mike Pompeo, said that he is not running for president in 2024. So what I want to know is, what will his role be in the presidential election of 2024? Will he be out campaigning for Donald Trump since he was in his administration, or will he go and try to be the Bush Republican and vote for or support somebody else? Will he betray the orange?
Yeah, he's one person I don't think that's been subpoenaed by Jack Smith yet.
I ain't heard his name
too,
today.
didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody that wrote a book got subpoenaed.
Because they told the investigators, look, I know something. Look.
Mike Pence, the stupidest thing he did was write a book and release it and then tried to defy the subpoena. It's like, you already said everything in a book. Just go in there and tell him. Wait, what's our question?
What will Mike Pompeo's role be? Because the presidential field has got a few people in it so far. Asa Hutchinson, Nikki Haley, Donald Trump, one other person. DeSantis, if he stops trying to play both sides anyway. Exactly. He is a doppelganger.
The doppelganger for Donald Trump.
He is a doppelganger.
What a thing that you lack so much of yourself that you have to imitate the worst person on the planet. Like, you couldn't think of a person. You literally are trying to imitate the worst person on the planet with his first 34 count felony criminal conviction. There's more to come. So
I mean, maybe he wants some too. He wants some convictions.
I'm sure Georgia can hook him up. Georgia can hook him up.
I get bedeviling Biden is what he's going to do every day, all day. Yeah, that's his job. He knows he's out in the cold. It's not his time, so he's blocked from running, so to speak. He's just going to try to create more chaos and hope it grows. And part of that, I think, is a distraction from all the court crap that's going on. So he's wondering who the Republicans are going to, put together besides Trump, because Trump's got all the court crap going on here, so he's wondering who they're going to put forward that could win.
I get he's not going to do anything or have no role. He sees that the progress moving forward for the Conservative Party is on its way to the deathbed, and there's trouble ahead. So he sees the writing on the wall. You got a whole bunch of crazies, and everybody is going to try to out crazy each other, and he's just like, yeah, no. So I get he doesn't.
We'll do a little fundraising and bad mouthing Democrats. That's about it.
Yeah, it's the party's headed to it's headed to its coffin, basically. So
I get the 5 of Wands in the Temperance. There is some battles around moderation. I think he may want to try to center the GOP, and he may have some sort of something to say about that. The King of Pentacles and the Page of Swords. He's working with someone here that may be trying to bring back into balance the thing that is currently embattled with the 5 of Wands. That's not going to happen, sir, but you don't have to be psychic to say that. But I'll give you that one for free. How's that? The 9 of Cups and the 7 of Swords, 8 of Wands. There is some schemes around maybe fundraising or something like that. Something that's done in excess, these schemes here. And it's around talking with the 8 of Wands. So maybe some speeches here, a talk for one of those 500, a plate dinner type of blah, 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 them type of things. But it ends in the Justice. I think he's trying to bring, again, with the Temperance, some balance. But here's my thing. Okay. This is just like, I don't know, a roach trying to be Superman. This problem that has been cultivated, that has been carefully cultivated in the GOP, is not something you can turn around overnight, because it's not something that even happened overnight. You all have been this way for a very long time.
It's decades in the making. This is decades in the making.
To reel back from the MAGA extremism into like a little middle ground take years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you're not even going to do that. Because, mind you, Donald Trump was allowed to fester in this party. That it's like something to where you created the right temperature, the right climate, the right environment for that thing to grow. And it has. And what you did not understand, I guess maybe you did, but you kept it in the dark. Donald Trump came in and flipped the light on, and everybody was like, turn the light off, and then it's too late, because now we all see. Because like I said, the one thing he did from his campaign that he promised he would do is drain the swamp. He did, but he did not remove the creatures. They're still there. Now we can see it. And so you cannot put the water back. We see it now. You are this now. You have to deal with him even after he dies. Because that mindset that he helped to bring about is now in your voter base. All of them have to die now too. That's not going to.
All that brainwashing.
And here's the thing. Now, the genius with the bullhorn, courtesy of Kevin McCarthy, is now out there screaming that the Republican Party needs to split. So we've seen this coming for how long now? How many years have we been saying the Republican Party will split? You know, it just has to. You've hit that point where there's a big enough crack and enough pressure that the whole thing's going to fracture. And she finally came out, I think it was yesterday or the day before, I saw it on Twitter, that she's saying that the Republican Party either needs to change and go more MAGA, or the MAGA needs to separate. I'm like, go ahead, have at it, destroy yourselves completely.
Because guess what? That's still part of your voter base that you just now split to. It's like you're going to have, Biden said he's going to run again, rumor has it. So you're going to have a hard enough time putting anybody up against the incumbent. And then you're going to split your voters in half. Go right ahead.
And then
you're that's almost something out of a Democratic playbook.
You're ticking off all these kids that are turning 18 before 2024, and you're trying to limit like voting at college campuses and everything. These kids are coming out in droves.
Somebody turns 18 every day.
And remember last time during the last midterms when they got freaking hammered, their solution was raise the voting age to 25. They know what's coming.
Yeah, they know it.
They know what's coming. You just poking the bear, and it's like, all right, have at it. When you guys are left
but
with
even
2
at
seats
25,
in the
that's still not your voter base. Those people are a different generation than Archie Bunkers. It's like Lindsey Graham does not appeal to the 25-year-old unless you're paying.
And these are the same voters who you've told for decades now will go ahead and get used for target practice at school because my money's good. There's nothing we can do.
We're going to
you should all walk around with Melania jackets now.
We're trying to get all these young Republican groups going. We're banning all your books so you'll be uneducated. We're even trying to stifle your colleges.
We're banning your library. We're banning your libraries. We're telling you to go to schools where you can get unalived, and we're going to take away all your safety social nets by the time you're old enough in your golden years, you're not going to.
If you happen to have a Democratic rep representing you in the state Congress, we'll just vote them out and send them back.
Yes. They don't know
won't let
what's
them
coming.
stay.
They have no idea.
Speaking of voting out, I wish maybe, but it didn't happen before. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Yes, it is a Care Bear ink pen. I got this when I went to California. I don't know what store we wandered into, but they had like wall-to-wall Care Bear stuff, and this is the only thing I could find that I like in my calendar thing.
It was at the Irvine Spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
At one store
Oh, it was one of those stores that people like me are too old to walk into.
Pharaoh Newbie and Jules were the ones that told us to go in there. So we did.
Anyhow, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Marge Toilet Green. There you go. She supports the leaker, the anti-American, the guy who wanted to be famous, I guess. Even Lindsey Graham has come out and said, "Homegirl, that's not okay. We do not support this person," so forth. And other people have been trying to support him, and then everybody else is saying, "Stop doing that. That is not a good thing, actually."
And she's on the committee for Homeland Security.
And so what I want to know, though, are
to have her parents revoked immediately. Immediately. You're saying, hey, go ahead and do it. She already leaked classified information in a committee hearing. She's like, well, I don't care what's classified, and she verbal diarrhea all this classified information in a committee hearing. Like, WTF, man.
Supporting all these people in jail from January 6th is traitorous.
So what I want to know is, will more people like Fox, like her, start to walk this back? That their own party has now said, don't do this. That's not a good thing. What he did is not a good thing. What he did is not American, so forth and so forth. Will they start to walk it back now, and now he's a bad person? Or will they dig in and be his best friend? He can be their new Kyle Rittenhouse.
That's it. They got to have a poster boy.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of the Republicans trying to get their powers, trying to destroy the justice system, make people think that the justice system doesn't work for them, trying to get them dissatisfied with it. So I don't think you'll see a change until there's more illumination on Trump and his crimes. So some of
Jenny, you froze. What did you say?
Oh my goodness!
What did you say? Because you froze.
Shuffled all back in.
No, you didn't freeze the whole time.
I don't think it'll. Yeah, I don't think it'll. I don't think it'll change until more comes out about Trump's crimes. I put all my cards back in. Sorry, I shuffled while I was frozen.
We heard what you said. Just at the end, it froze is all.
Okay.
Yeah, at the end. And Mercury is retrograde, Monique, that little bastard. Back up your computers and all electronic devices, because he's on a roll. Will more Republicans come out against her statement? No, but there's going to be a very stern talking to behind closed doors. What the F are you doing? There's the conversation. There's the big trouble. And here it is closed off. Like, you need to stop. You need to stop. Like, she's going to get pulled into a meeting where she's not going to like what she has to hear about her statements. So you're gonna have to muzzle her because she's just gonna go out and do another outrageous thing next week.
Yeah.
So
if I was Homeland Security, I'd be limiting what I'm presenting to that committee because what they don't know.
I mean,
I get 7 of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. There's some chaos being sown, and these are the people that do it. So expect this of her. But the question was, will more of these people start to walk this back now that other people in the government saying this isn't a good thing? I think it's more of a don't say it going forward. With the High Priestess, there's an agenda, but there's no apologies or anything like that. The Hierophant, the Page of Cups, and I drew the Hierophant again. So there is a lot of governmental influence around this child and the messages around him, the agenda around him, that type of thing. They don't want to play damage control because of someone popping off at the mouth when they already have to play damage control about secrets. And so going forward, don't say nothing, but no apologies or anything like that.
And someone that's popping off at the mouth to fundraise on top of it. So put national security at risk so you can go get yourself more money and then spend $65,000 out of your campaign to build yourself a fence around your house. Like what she did do. $65,000 on a fence for her house that she took out of campaign funds.
Speaking of funds and security, my last question. A man by the name of Colin Davis McCarthy, who lives here in Oregon, Eugene, Oregon, decided one day to take $200,000 of the family money, which is all they had in their joint account, take it, withdraw it, drive down the freeway, and throw it out the window. He said that he was blessing people. That's why he did it. Now
you could have came to my house. You could have came to my house.
$200,000 of their personal money. He took it, withdrew it, and threw it literally out the window because people started calling the police because there were cars lined up along the freeway. And people were like, hey, what's going on? And because they were picking up hundreds of dollars of bills, like $100 bills on the ground. And the police didn't charge him with anything, but people were catching up to him while he was on the street to tell him to actually stop doing that because it was causing too much commotion on the freeway. And so he eventually stopped. So I don't know how much he has left, but he said he was doing it to bless people. I want to know, why did he do that? Was it because he was trying to be benevolent? Did he have a lapse in judgment? Was he being spiteful? Was he high? What? Because you can smoke the marijuanas, but it wouldn't make you do that, though. He's 38 years old, mind you. And so to have $200,000 at 38 years old, you could have been building your nest egg which is what I'm sure they were doing. Because this is family money. So he has a family. This is not just his money by himself. So $200,000, and I wonder what's going to happen to his relationship after that. Just threw it out the window on the freeway. Well, what's going on there, buddy?
You happen to know if he's had COVID?
I know.
Because I'm getting like COVID brain, like severely burdened, like massive mental issue. Should have been watched. I just knocked the card on the floor. Yeah, he's mentally not right. Is what I'm getting.
$200,000. throw it right out
Ay,
the
ay,
window.
ay.
On the freeway.
Ay, 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 ay.
I say put it in envelopes and like hand it to people. Why throw it out anyway?
I get that he was going to get a kick out of watching a pileup and people fighting over it. So here's people that are hardworking that he might feel sorry for, and then fighting as they're running towards, whatever it is. But also, I'm wondering if this guy suffers from an addiction of some sort as well. Suffering there and then addiction here. So
Maybe a little too much ecstasy or something.
I'm gonna go to the bank and get all my money out and throw it out the window and see if anybody fights over it. Like,
I get the 2 of Cups, Ace of Swords. There's an agreement for victory, so he may have had the notion to elevate someone to make them better, I guess, with the Ace of Swords, give them a victory. The 2 of Cups, this was an agreement. However, there was no one with him, so I don't know if he's got some bipolar something going on, because the moon is here. The moon is some mental issue, some lunacy, but I won't go that far. But that's what it is, because the Hermit is across from the moon, and this is your isolation. Sometimes you're stuck in the inside, and so there could be a mental lapse there. I do get that there is a woman here in the Page of Pentacles. This could be his bank account or something like that, and the 5 of Swords. So either she'll beat him over the head or she'll divorce him, but they can work that out themselves. And the Page of Pentacles again with the Page of Wands, he's sticking to that story. So he meant to bless, I guess.
I mean, didn't you not go to find the people that are impoverished in Oregon, the homeless, and just give them a wad of cash instead of throwing money out of a window on a speeding car?
On the freeway.
On the freeway. Something like that happened here in San Diego. One of those, the trucks that carry all the money, one of the doors flew open and there was the 5 freeway was littered with cash. And people were like just grabbing money all over the place. And I'm like, why didn't I hear this? Because I would have drove my ass on the 5 freeway. And I thought about it. All that money serialized, I would have gotten caught and sent to jail. You know what I mean? For stealing money.
Thank you, Asia. Because he's. I mean, there's a better way, sir. That's all I'm saying. There's a better way, and then make sure your family is not broke at the end of your benevolence. God, I think, would still bless you if you only gave $10,000 instead of $200,000. Anyway, thank you all for your benevolence tonight, for your time, your donations, and things of that nature. We appreciate you very much. Like I said before, we don't take it for granted because you can do anything else, and we're glad you're here. Next week, we will be on Jen's channel. And I think also next week, Lena Rodriguez from Tarot Down Under will be somewhere in our neighborhood. Next week or the week after. She's packing, but I think she's going a couple other places first.
Okay.
She's getting in stateside.
Mm-hmm. She'll be coming our way pretty soon. So I'm going to go and catch a boat and see if I can find where she is. And then we'll say hi to y'all then too. So until next time.
Bye.